Hello guys, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with the Unit 10, subsection 4, that is World Bank Group Institutions. In last video, we discussed the World Bank and IMF, and today we will discuss World Bank Group Institutions and continuation. Okay, so International Development Association (IDA) is one of the institution under World Bank Group, and this arm of bank look after the poverty alleviation and debt relief of majorly the 74 poorest countries of the world. They lend money on concessional or near zero interest rate term. The loans are made for long term 30 to 40 years with interim 5 to 10 year grace period. The debt relief is done through two initiatives called heavily indebted poor countries and multilateral debt relief initiatives. And the next one is International Financial Corporation, that is IFC. This arm of the bank is involved in private sector development in member countries, especially those projects which have welfare implications. The institution can help private sector entities by giving loans, taking equity stakes and stock options, or by sharing profit. It may also provide venture capital and stimulate investments by other private entities and overall try to develop the capital market in developing countries. And next is Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, that is MIGA. Foreign investment are an important source of fund for fueling economic growth and reducing poverty in developing countries. Observed foreign flows shows appetite for only a handful of such a countries, severely limiting the prospect of growth and development in countries facing internal or external problems related to the political atmosphere. MIGA comes in here and tries to channelize foreign investment in disturbed and poor countries through its initiatives. And International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, that is ICSID. ICSID gives a platform for the investors to settle their dispute with the host states. A need was felt for tackling the non-commercial risk of foreign investment, and the members involved in the dispute can voluntarily resort to the mechanism available with the ICSID to settle their disputes, but once sought, they cannot withdraw from the proceedings. Additionally, over the years, given the request by the members, ICSID may also involve itself with fact-finding mission related to the disputes. And the next is difference between IMF and the World Bank. Here is one column. Here differences are there: International Monetary Fund and World Bank. So you just go through these differences. We already discussed IMF and the World Bank differently. So you just go through this table. In between you have any doubt, you can contact our contact number. And next is International Monetary System, that is IMS. Okay, the nations transaction with each other mainly through trade and capital flows. Net transactions have to be settled at regular intervals. While engaging in such a transaction, some of the countries may face situations where the payment obligations are more than their receipts. In that cases, such a disequilibrium imbalance of payment is either met through foreign exchange reserves or through borrowed funds. Hence, there is a requirement for countries and institutions to act as a supplier of such reserves. Amount of such reserves that would be demanded depend on the speed of adjustment of BOP and the institution framework of the world economy. Exchange rate system followed by the countries also impact the amount of reserves that can be demanded. In completely market determined exchange rate system, the movement in exchange rate brings the BOP back to equilibrium, reducing the requirement for international reserves. The other major factors impacting the demand for international reserve is speed of automatic adjustment, policies aimed at restoring BOP equilibrium, and international coordination of economic policies. The supply of international reserves can be owned or borrowed. They are majorly in the form of gold, acceptable foreign currencies, and special drawing rights, that is SDRs. And gold has always been a major form of which international reserves were kept. Okay. After the World War II, the IMF came into being. The world moved on what is known as the gold exchange standard. Gold was considered as unit of account. US took the responsibility of being the international banker. Dollar was denominated in the terms of gold. All other currencies were denominated in terms of gold or gold content of dollars. Okay. And the given the expansion of international trade and capital for dollars and gold was found to be inadequate to serve as an international reserve. The need was thus felt for an additional international reserve currency. SDRs were contemplated as a unit to decide the contribution of the members to IMF. The nations can access international reserve from two special windows of IMF. One is the IMF drawings. In this, the nations in need of international reserve can buy foreign currency by pledging their home currency and agree to buy them back at some future dates. And this is about this unit, and summary of this unit is process of globalization gave rise to the need for an orderly financial system. The IMF and the World Bank can be seen as institutions which were created for maintaining a stable international financial system. Specifically, IMF was entrusted with the job of assisting nations in payment problem. In return for such a assistance, the countries were supposed to follow prescribed policies. Such a policies, while successful in some countries, created further problems in others. The World Bank majorly looked at assisting countries in reducing poverty. Private enterprises in such a countries were also encouraged through assistance from IFCs as an important arm of the bank. And the current role of IMF is more flexible than in the past and is seen as more conducive for the developing countries. The World Bank, on the other hand, is engaged in poverty reduction and helps build smart infrastructure in developing countries. Countries thus have means to stabilize their financial system and address poverty related problems which may be beyond their capacity to tackle. And the keywords are there from this unit. If you have any difficult keyword, you just refer this session. And the self-assessment questions also there, and 8 self-assessment questions are in this unit. Explain why it was felt that unilateral assistance by countries like USA was not enough. Do you think the world needed institutions like IMF and the World Bank? Discuss. Okay. And they explained how during gold standard system the international financial system operated, and what was the Bretton Woods system of exchange rate arrangement, why did it come to an end, and which are the most important functions of IMF according to you. Explain. And distinguish the role of the World Bank from the art of IMF to tackle poverty, which one of these institutions would be more effective. Explain. And given the criticism of IMF policies, what new initiative have been taken by the institution, do you think they would be effective? Explain. And how is gold exchange standard different from gold standard, and what are the various arms of the World Bank, how do they facilitate international business? Explain. Okay, so all we discussed from this unit, and try to answer these questions. It will help you in your final exam. If you have any doubt on this, you just contact our contact number, or you can comment it on our comment box also. And for videos from MBA session, you just do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.
i-tutor ES presents Ignou MBA, complete syllabus coverage classes and individual semester base, subject coverage program for MBA students online and flexible sessions. For more details, contact 62382 17885.